Good afternoon and welcome to SpeedGaming 2. We have a tag team ranked match between Team caelb and Team Trash Island Treasure Hunting Unit. I am Dead Boss, joining me in the group is Rose. How's it going today?
It's going great. Kind of hopped in on this at the last minute, but who doesn't love them a little bit of double dragon action?
I know we've had, recently we had the Duckling Derby and we have the Winter Dad going on right now. So we haven't seen a lot of tag matches, so I'm really excited for this. You want to go over the flags real quick?
Yeah. So this is actually a relatively straightforward flag set, all things considered. Some of the biggest things that folks are probably going to notice if they're not familiar with all the crazy things this randomizer can do is there is the possibility that every weapon in the game can cast magic, but those spells are almost certainly going to be completely unfamiliar because they are going to be made using the spell. I forgot exactly what it's called. Spellcrafter.
Nice.
So they're going to be a mix of familiar spells and spells that combine elements and effects in ways that do not occur in the original game. And when we see those, we'll call them out. I've got a list pulled up to guide us along the way. Other than that, we've got Unleashed Warmech, we've got Buffed Pirates, and we have just a host of other things. Free tail and loot today, but not a free key. All of the Fiend dungeons are incentivized, as well as all of the usual minor locations. So Ice Cave, Ordeals, Marsh Cave, Titan's Trove, Power Gauntlet, Masamune, and Ribbon round out our incentive items beyond the usuals. While we do definitely have access to the King's early item, we may or may not have access to the Sarda, the Sage, or Ordeals. Not that it matters, because we have instant entrance and floor shuffle on, with Deep Towns available and the possibility of Deep Temple of Fiends. And finally, we have absolutely hilarious scaling for the bosses. 150 to 300 for stats, 200 to 400 for HP. Enemies are just 1 to 250 for stats, 50% to 150 for HP.
Just 100 to 250 for stats?
Okay, this is the Irongol Double Dragon Championship. I would like to point out that that is completely reasonable and fair.
I can't wait for those Gurmadusas to roll up on their strength and just, give people the business.
I mean, who knows when we're going to get to see that. But in any case, I didn't see what parties the runners made, but Dead Pulse, did you catch that? Or are we just going to have to find out in motion?
Now, I know that this was a party draft, and I believe everyone picked a black belt. I think most of them went black belt Oreo, but we'll see as it goes on. I know that you mentioned mixed spellbooks were on it. It's a pretty standard party.
All right.
And the gate's going to be dropping shortly, so get this underway.
All right. Yeah, for those of you who are wondering what this is all about, this is the Final Fantasy Randomizer Irongol Double Dragon Championship. Basically, we got tired of only having tournaments to have like formal racing events where there were stakes and prizes to be won. And so the community introduced a set of sort of, I don't know if there's really an analog other than it's kind of like a wrestling championship where there is a champion, there is a ranked list of contenders, and the champion defends against, the number one contender or anyone else they deign to fight. And whoever wins that match is the new champion, or the old champion who successfully defended. And in this case, this is our tag team division. And by tag team, I mean co-op.
Yeah, so we'll be sharing some key items, and based on what you're telling me with free loot, it looks like the only thing that's going to be required is the key, because with 4 town entrance shuffle, it's possible that we don't need the rod to the Oxyel.
Yeah, pretty much all we have to do is find the key, find the 4 fiends, kill them. Is that lock 3? Nice. Well, it's lock level 3, but... So, Spellcrafter, and it's been a while, but to explain, when you have Spell Shuffle on with Spellcrafter, what it does is it more or less it appends a number to the end of every spell to tell you what spell level it was originally on. Because that in turn determines the effect of that spell. So for example, that Fog 8 is, I believe, the level 8 version of Fog, which has a tremendous amount of absorb boosting compared to what you normally expect from Fog.
I saw the best spell probably in the Magic was Rock 8, and that's a single target Earth Elemental spell. I think that does 300 to 500 damage or something in that range.
Something like that. Yeah, like... This is going to be a seed where the solution to most problems is throw a rock at it. The rock will be big enough. But it's also convenient because being Earth Elemental, outside of flying and water enemies, there isn't really a whole lot that's going to say, no, that spell doesn't hurt that badly.
I mean, it would still be nice to find Sweeper, but I mean, that single target spell would do.
Yeah. Let's see. And we also have the non-elemental single target word spell available at level 1 white magic. And we've already found a war mech. And we found out that there's a level 7 AoE time spell out there.
So that's nice. This is turning out all right.
Yeah.
So there is a bit difference in the party compositions. We see Team caelb going with the black belts, 2 white mages, and a red mage. And it looks like on Trash Island Treasure Hunting Unit, they're going with black belts, 2 white mages, and a black mage.
Yeah, and that is not uncommon to see what caelb's doing on the party front on their side, where you have 2 distinct parties that are, or not 2 distinct, but 2 parties that are capable of different things. So, Ale taking that red mage, you know, it opens up the possibility if they get deeper into the seed and find out that white magic has all the goodies, you know, Ale can kind of take over the exploration side of things, while caelb can kind of take a step back and focus more on powering up his black belt. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I think finding an early grind is essential in this.
If only because they decided to unleash Warmech, which, for the folks playing along at home who don't normally play the randomizer, Warmech Unleashed basically just means every single zone in the game has a possibility of a Warmech encounter. Normally, it would be an incredibly rare encounter, being Encounter 7, but because they also shuffled encounters, I believe they shuffled encounters anyway. Let me check that. Oh yeah, no, they totally shuffled rarity. That means that Warmech can pop up anywhere. Alright, and that Tri-State early Sarda did flip to not. So they're going to have to kill the vampire and open the ruby chest before they can get the rod from Sarda.
Well, I saw that Warmech had ×7. That's
Yeah.
not great news.
Yeah, it's great news if they can find where ×7 is. Because that is a high-level AoE time spell. Which means it's, aside from Chaos, it's as good, and I think aside from Chaos and Warmech, it's as good as, a non-elemental spell. Because nothing in the game except for those two monsters resists time.
I saw a gold -3 bracelet. That's not good news.
Let's see here.
And yeah, we did see a Heal 4 shirt.
Ooh, Cure 7. That's gonna patch up a lot of HP.
I didn't catch, was that in the white or black magic?
That was, I think, in black magic. We do have early stages, at least. I don't think we have any idea where the Elf Prince or his doctor are, but... I think they're at least in the same place. Yeah, they're in the same place, at least, so we just have to find Elfland Castle, and we can put that to use.
Lord Fizzlebeef showing up with some trance shadows. That's not good.
Let's see.
So Caelb seems to have found Bridge Destiny. Finds a Warmech on the Bridge Destiny. How cute.
We do have Fiend Shuffle on, I believe, but... Yep, we have shuffled the original Fiends on, and Tiamat was shuffled exactly where she belongs. Caelb's solution is to throw rocks at her. Her solution is to electrocute him.
He should not have been holding up, metal poles while throwing rocks.
Ah, there's a Gurmedusa. Fizzlebeef runs away before we find out how hard they hit. And it looks like Luffy has found the carry floor, and is going to be checking that incentive chest.
We are 7.5 minutes in, and we've already found 2 fiends.
Yeah, but at the same time, do we know how? Are we able to kill them? Is the real question.
We can't actually kill them yet.
Well, so here's the tricky thing about Carrie in particular. Carrie has hilariously high magic defense. Even Carrie 1 has hilariously high magic defense. So, they may be able to kill Carrie. It really comes down to what her script is. Because it pretty much is just, can you keep your party alive long enough to bombard her with rocks? And it appears that Luffy has decided that with only the white mage and a low-level black belt, he does not quite have the resources yet. He does, however, have a ruby that he got out. Oh no, he's going to go for it, okay.
And look at that, Lord Fizzlebeef making a heads up. Knew where the ruby turn-in was, so he was going for it.
Oh right, I forgot the fiends were shuffled because of that vanilla Tiamat. Anyway, Lich killed everyone.
With the rock spell, yeah, I might go in for seconds. Maybe.
Yeah, if you can get that turn order, Lich does not have great magic defense at all. So you should be able to land the rock spell and do a bunch of damage, and that didn't kill him, but you got more shots of it. Okay, I think that's, 1,400 damage on Lich so far? Yeah, this'll do the trick. So anyway, Luffy scores our first orb of the match. Which I believe orbs are also shared between runners and co-op, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
So 1 down, 3 to go. Still got to find the key. Still got to find Topher. Topher could be deep, or it could not be.
Yeah.
Tri-states are funny that way.
Yeah. So I imagine that that is one thing. Like, both teams are going to want to get that airship, at the first available convenience, which fortunately, as soon as one person finds the floater, if the other one's in a better position to go claim the airship, they can. And granted, the one who found the floater still has to go there himself. It won't just be available. But it's there. You can do it. Luffy Luffy and Fizzle also getting the bad news. They will have to find the vampire floor before they can get Sarda's item.
Well, Aelmarkin defeating Lich, getting their orb.
Yeah. So far, it feels like it's a pretty evenly matched race in terms of intel, in terms of party strength. Luffy might have an early EXP advantage on that one white mage who killed Lich. Sorry about that. But overall, yeah, I'd say right now it's a pretty fair fight at the moment. Caelb, I think, is pushing into previously unexplored territory, and we do not have a deep Topher today. And more importantly, they know where the princess is, or where Carnaria is today. Carnaria Castle specifically. So this princess they can go collect the key item from. Now, unless something's changed with co-op since the last time I did anything with it, Elle's also going to have to go claim that princess if it is a Mazda or something like that. Like, that flags do not get shared, right?
That is correct. I am 99% on that.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Canuck. So Elle does still have to kill Garland, but we do find a crystal in the Titan's Trove. And it looks like Caelb did find that vampire floor after all. So he'll be able to go see what Sarda has.
I know that on this there were 4 dud locations, so it's going to feel bad if Aelmarkin runs all the way back and finds out that Sarda was holding, 251 gold.
Yeah, but I think he's in the better position, because Sarda was, I think, under Elfland Castle, and I think Ale is currently under Matoya.
But we're taking on Warmech round 2, times 7, only taking out 2 of his 4 Light Warriors.
Yeah. So it is important to note, Heal 4 is not some heretofore unknown higher expression of the heal spell. It is a heal spell rated for level 4. So it is one of those things, it is not nearly as powerful as the original game's numbering scheme would suggest. If folks are just joining us, the numbers next to the spells indicate what level they were originally slated for. Because we are using a feature of the randomizer known as Spellcrafter. And with Spellcrafter, when you randomize what level spells are on, the name is truncated to include what level it was originally on, because what Spellcrafter does is basically make a spell of the appropriate level with the appropriate, stat ranges for damage or healing or whatever. So that's why, for example, that spell labeled Rock 8 is hitting like you are throwing, a planet at your enemies. Because you are. Because that is a single target Earth Elemental spell that was originally slated for level 8.
Lord Fizzlebeef finding the Tiamat floor. At the same time, Aelmarkin is going to turn in that bomb.
And gets a rod. And Caelb is going right back in.
I don't think they could have timed that any better.
Well, no, they absolutely could have timed that better. Well, no, I guess they found the bottle in the vampire chest, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. They couldn't have timed that any better unless Ale had been in Gaia when Caelb found the bottle. And thus could have easily gotten the rod and then had Caelb turn right around. But he got to heal up before finding out what's deeper in, so it works. I'm feeling a town behind this rod block.
That's a bold prediction. Do you think it's going to be on rack, so they still need to find the Oxio to go any further?
I'm feeling LaFane. So let's see. So while we've been distracted over with Team Caelb, Luffy and Lord Fizzlebeef pretty much are in the same position. Luffy's going to find this bottle here. Fizzle's going to be... one of them's going to go turn it in. They're going to find the rod, and then they're going to start digging deeper. Oh, it's a cube block. Okay.
Well, we're going to check the trap pile, just in case.
Oh. Yeah, we've got Deep Towns and Spellcrafting are two of the big ones. We've got a pretty good spread on enemy stat adjustments. Blurst gear is in season. Excuse me, we have the Fiend shuffled, and we have Spellbook shuffle going.
One other thing to note is that the power word threshold is set to 600. That's nice, but at the same time, all of the healths, can I use that? The health of the enemies, they're all insanely high, so I don't even know if 600 is worth it.
I mean, when you think about how low a lot of enemy HP is in the original game, it actually does, I think it does wind up balancing out anyway. Like, I think 600 is still going to kill most trash, and considering enemy stat lines, that 600 could be the difference between finishing an enemy off in 3 rounds or finishing an enemy off in 5 rounds.
That is true. I should have had a counter for all the surprise 1x we're seeing.
Well, we know for next time someone's crazy enough to do a flag set like this. Which is Irongol, so, that'll be sometime next week. Alright, I think we're going to see what the princess has. And just a little bit of boomstick. And it looks like we have a Kraken hiding underneath the, what was once the town of Crescent Lake. So, I don't know if Fizzle and Luffy have seen that yet.
I don't believe either have one over there.
I think one of them might have gone over here and seen that it was Sharknado floor, but didn't dig deeper.
Those shadows giving Luffy the business.
I mean, have you seen what they got?
Hey, look at that, a cute little muddle staff.
So Kraken, not really vulnerable to Earth, but also has, garbage for its M defense, but also has thunder. And also still alive.
White Mage almost surviving that one.
Did I see 4 hits for 1,000?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay, that was 14 hits. Okay. It's a little bit blurry on our view, so the one got eaten up, but okay. 14 hits for 1,000. Little more reasonable. little more
I don't
reasonable.
know if that makes me feel better or worse. A Kraken hitting 14 times, or
Okay, well here's the thing. You can cut down those hits with a little bit of ruse and invisibility, and we do have a ruse item. Like there is a ruse item somewhere in this world. Even if there's not, even if the ruse spell is not accessible, although there is also a ruse spell.
And don't forget about that fog 8. I mean, with that number of hits, a couple casts of that will bring that down. Not the hits per se, but at least the damage.
I don't know, but we do have a canoe out of the TNT turn-in. And speak of the devil, and it shall appear.
A ruse 1 staff.
It's a ruse. Probably not going to be doing... Well, actually, hold on. I think even ruse 1 is still fairly good for making you evasive.
I would like to say it's better than nothing.
I mean, yeah, considering I don't think we've seen any of our other, like, invisibility or evasion spells. So, meanwhile, Luffy continuing to explore, and it looks like Lord Fizzlebeef is a little bit, yeah.
He is rebuffering.
And while we were talking over all that good stuff, it appears that Luffy did, I think, find Bahamut, and with the tail in hand was able to go ahead and get that good class change on. And Sarda has the crown today. I don't believe we've seen Northwest Castle yet, but...
Well, it was nice to know that the trip was worth it.
Yeah. Next, I think we're going to see, let's see, I'm thinking Garbage in Lefane, Garbage at Mermaids. Let's see, we have 2 more bonk locations. I'm going to go ahead and say Ordeals is going to be another garbage location. And...
Oh, that's terrible. Unrunnable mummy pack with Squint. And no sort of sweeper. That's nice.
I mean, at the very least, yeah. Okay, thank you, ETAP. He who, or they who is an expert on catching all of the spells forever. So we do have Invis 5 at level 7 white magic, and in Spellcrafter, the invisibility spells, let me find them real quick, are either single or multi-target, and there's no note as to which is which, but I assume once it's high enough level, it just becomes multi-target rather than single target. So hopefully Invis 5 is high enough to be a multi-target effect. And we found a pure, I think, gauntlet.
I don't know if that's going to see too much use.
It probably won't, but at the same time... Anyway, I'm also going to go ahead and guess that air is going to be our last garbage location. So, sea and air incentive chests, Lefane, and Ordeals is our 4 garbage item locations under incentives. And yeah, Ail's been in this Ordeals for a good little while now. But Luffy is about to find that Kraken, and also get the bad news that it is not a friendly Kraken.
It looks like Ale is going to... Oh yeah, it was the 4th location that multi-run, so climb upstairs, and we'll see if you are correct.
Assuming he survives whatever's at the top of the stairs. We have no guarantees. I didn't see what Matoya just handed over, though.
A ribbon -5.
Oh, so a ribbon with an evade penalty.
I will take a ribbon regardless. All the time.
And that is some good selling fodder right there. That looked like an Excalibur +5.
Womp womp.
And I didn't see what was in Ordeals, but Ale just immediately bailed.
Yeah, it was a nice pair of iron nunchucks.
All right, I'm 1 for 4 so far.
Luffy checking out the grind tiles, finding out that there's nothing too hospitable on the Sharknado floor.
So Dead Pulse. We're about 23 or so minutes in. Do you feel like either team has a clear advantage yet?
You know, I don't. Most of them have visited about the same locations, maybe at different times. If I do have to say the interesting thing, Luffy and Lord Fizzlebeef have not checked the rod lock yet to find out that it's also cube locked. So if there is an incentive location behind there, like let's say the floater is behind there, and they can dig out the cube before going there, that's going to save them a little time. So that would be the only advantage, I would think.
Well, Waterfall was housing the is housing Elfland Castle, so we're about to find out what the herb has. And Caelb found Marsh Cave somewhere and pulled out a slab.
And as I say, it turns out the cube the Elf Prince had all along.
Okay. So Luffy and Fizzle should eventually find that at least, because it's not that deep under a location that you're going to remember to check. And okay, so Ice Cave was holding the Marsh Cave. So, yeah, right now, Fizzle and Luffy definitely have an equipment advantage, potentially, since they've already found that Bahamut and promoted. Caelb and Ale, I think, have the exploration edge, though. Like, Ale making that play down or up to the northern continents definitely provides some info.
Warmex everywhere. And ignore everything that I said before, because Lord Fizzlebeef is going to check that rod lock.
Yeah. I mean, unless they want to go ahead and set sail for the far continents, they this is really one of the only checks they've got left, because I think they've looked in most of the places that they have access to at the moment. Another pack of mummies.
Oh, at least this one was runnable.
Yeah. Atal 5? I believe that was A-lit. Yeah. So, not very helpful.
No, not really. But
Yeah.
Luffy looks like he's going to make the dive and see if he can take out Kraken.
I wouldn't be holding my breath if I were watching. Like,
I mean, he's going to get the information, though, that Kraken means business.
yeah. Is that like when Pokey means business?
That's exactly like it.
Okay, so they're fine. Let's have to deal like 2,000 damage to Kraken, and then he'll turn off the Devil's Machine and initiate the next phase.
And Ale Market just finding a slew of volcano locations here.
Hey.
The armory soon.
Hey, volcano locations mean you don't have to worry about getting into fights. And he's going to go ahead and see what's deeper down, and what's deeper down is Ice Cave, which is an incentive location. So Ale is probably going to beeline to get that chest. So for those who've never seen how co-op runs in Final Fantasy I Randomizer, and actually I think it's how a lot of randomizers have been doing co-op these days. Once you find the item, and your teammate has received that item transmission, you also now have that item. So I think what Ale is doing here is basically just a suicide dive. He's going to push through Ice Cave, get the item in that chest, wait for Caelb to get it, and then reset out. Also, I wasn't paying attention to what happened to Luffy, but I'm going to just go ahead and assume that Kraken happened.
I don't even know if Lucan made it. Oh, no, it looks like he did.
Okay, and that is a pack of mugs who know word too, but Caelb pulls the floater out of sky.
So it looks like that was behind the cube block.
Yeah, that color scheme, I think, is going to be Elfland Castle. Anyway, Astos is dead.
So
and had garbage.
we took his stuff.
Okay, so I was close. Astos had garbage and was in the same location as the air chest. I'm going to count that as a win. Oh, good, Ankylos, everyone's favorite. Can we just shout out the fact that, like, all of these parties have incredibly buff white mages? All right, and it looks like Elfland was in Gaia.
I would like to contend that all white mages are buff white mages.
Wall, pure, heal 1, ice 1. Wow. So far, Elfland, utter trash.
Oh no, Wall 8 is great.
Okay, Wall 8 is great, but what is Wall 8 a hit everyone spell?
I believe that is a hit everyone.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, Elfland worth visiting. Oh, there's ×7 at level 4 black. So, plenty of charges.
This place has taken success and robbed it from, I don't even know where I was going. I love Elfland.
I mean, Elfland's just good if you... Okay, Elfland is a love-hate relationship, I find. Because when you find it, you usually can stock up on everything. But the thing is usually, because Elfland doesn't have anything required in it, it's a late-game location, so you're limping through half the game with level 1, 2, and 5 magic.
And no real sweepers. You know, I bet everyone's tired of throwing rocks at things. They just want to have a nice AoE spell.
Have you ever been so tired of throwing rocks that you decide to twist the fabric of reality?
I started choking on my drink laughing. Hold on.
I apologize for nothing.
At least I didn't do a spit take. But Caelb, our first runner in the air, is the 34-minute mark.
Ale also in the air. So.
Advantage scales have tipped.
Yeah, no, that airship is a huge advantage. Not only because it lets you run around and check stuff you've already done, check stuff, and revisit locations. They now have all of the Cardia Islands at their disposal, along with the Lefane location. And obviously Gaia with that lovely, lovely Tim 7. Yes. Halt is a non-elemental paralysis effect. Hold would be the status element version of that. So Halt is generally stronger.
So to kind of recap, we're 36 minutes in. We've both teams have killed Lich,
who was sitting at Carrie's
Carrie
location.
floor. We know where Tiamat and Kraken are, and they're in their vanilla locations. Or, I'm sorry, Kraken is in C, which is not vanilla location, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, it is.
Oh, that's
Okay. They're on their normal floors.
Thank you.
Lich and Carrie are not on their normal floors. There we go.
So what we're looking for is where is the earth floor that Carrie is on, and we're also looking for the key.
So to answer the question, chat, will Halt work on Kraken? Yes, it is not a power word spell. It is a non-elemental paralysis effect. And with Kraken's low MDef and that Halt being level 8, that actually might not be the worst plan. You might be able to paralyze Kraken with Halt 8. And I do not believe anyone has actually managed to kill a war mech yet.
They're an elusive creature.
So the thing about war mech is, in addition to having hilariously powerful stats, it's also resistant to everything. So where Rock 8 normally just rocks the enemy's world, in this case, it's a little trickier. So, Luffy and Fizzle have taken to the seas. I think this means they're going to finally make that play to the north. Which will...
I'll put anything LFB is.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like what they did is they just split up. It looks like Fizzle is heading toward Ordeals. Okay, now he's back in the southern continent.
Until I'm proven wrong, I'm going to make a call that the earth floor with Carrie is going to be behind the vanilla Mirage Tower. So Chime's going to be away.
All right, that seems like a valid prediction. I'm going to guess that Carrie is hiding behind a fork on the Double Cardia Island. But that might just be because I'm a bad person.
You didn't say both forks, so...
Oh, no, because see, the other fork is where the key's gonna be.
See, I was thinking you were being magnanimous.
No, God, no, I'm a commentator. My job is to hope every awful thing happens to the runners. And I also don't race, so I extra don't have to, be worried about it. Also, yeah, those Gur Sharks, giving Caelb the business.
I haven't seen how much health they roll, but even in regular health, I don't like taking on Gur Sharks.
Let's see here. Oh, exit 8. Lit 5. Guard 3. What's Grid 3? Self-cast armor up. Okay. So, like Fog, but ruse. And our
Fast
tracker,
5. Ooh,
our tracker Groggy Dog calling out that Advent is available in OnRack. Alright, so Fizzle's about to turn in this TNT and get the canoe, which opens up new possibilities. Alright, my prediction's wrong, but Provoca's nice.
Now, I believe I saw in the OnRack location, level 7, Black Magic had Temper 7, as well as Kill
Life
8.
Life 8, very nice. Granted, it's at Black Magic, but
We finally have some life spells.
it beats the alternatives.
Boy, and it looks like the cardio with the marsh has the Lich location, which is going to be carry. So I'll
Let's
take
see.
another one.
We do also have Power Word Muddle, which is a status elemental effect and causes confusion. Now, we do also have buffed pirates available here, but I have a sneaking suspicion that they are about to get timmed out.
Yeah, those pirates mean business. They don't care about time.
Bunch of layabouts they are. Always lollygagging about and never giving a whit for what time has passed. Arr.
So we have Team caelb. Caelb wiping to the buffed pirates. At the same time, Ale Markin was wiping to carry. Both of them are very scary.
Yeah, the good news is they know where these things are and can get to them. Because Fizzle and Luffy, remember, still need that floater.
Yeah, we're still looking for... They are still looking for something.
Taken out of their soul. Something that can't be lost. Something somebody stole.
No, I didn't see. I thought that waterfall is where they needed to go.
Yeah, I think Waterfall was. Let me look at our handy dandy tracker notes.
And beating the pirates looks like it netted 152 gold. That was worth it. And Ale Markin, though, is able to beat Carry on the Lich floor, so 2 orbs lit, 14 killed.
Yeah, and that carry was vicious.
So yeah, it looks like the key items that Team caelb was missing are the key, the Oxia, and the Chime.
And Ale is just going to ignore the pirates. It's not worth the fight. But does find some nice armor for that red mage. But
the Trash Island treasure hunting unit does have the cube, which means they can go behind tiny realm block, tiny cube block to get the folder. And at that point, the adamant, which we were talking about, I believe that was the shop item, turns into the key. So it looks like Team caelb has all the information they need.
Did they ever actually see that Tiamat floor? Like, I assume they did.
caelb saw it very early.
Okay. Alright, then yeah.
I mean, they have all the information. They're still sub-level 20, though.
Yeah, but at this point, that's a matter of find yourself a good spot to kill things and then go to work. I mean, in a pinch, you could just take one of these sky floors and just grind there. But it looks like Elmarkin doesn't have time for that. Oh, okay, yeah, wow, okay. Never mind. Ale has found the grind spot.
I didn't see if they had anything nasty.
Yeah,
at this point, I don't know if I care.
Our friendly local tracker pointing out in chat that Fire 4, I think it was a rod or an axe, would actually probably do some work here, at least in cleaning up the lesser vampires.
Well, we know that they have something. I saw Flash coming out. I don't know if anything more dangerous might show up.
Now, one thing to point out, I don't think either Ale or caelb has bothered with promotion.
It's probably a good bet that they're not going through. Second, it looks like Wiz Vamps have heat and almost did a combined 40 damage to them.
Yeah, so Ale's gonna be busy with that for a little bit. Luffy, meanwhile, climbing up through here. Based on the color scheme, I think this was Ordeal's location.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. So, one of the less... so one of the great features about the Florida Entrance Shuffle is that the color scheme matches roughly wherever the entrance is. And in some cases, it's a little more of a, like, conceptual connection than an actual one, but in cases where, like, the dungeon in question has, yeah, okay, that background is Ordeal's, so... Or actually, is that Ordeal's? Yeah, it's Ordeal's, okay.
Luffy taking a painful wipe in there.
Yeah. So you can use the color scheme of an area to figure out where you are, even if you don't remember directly.
It looks like Elmarkin is going to give us our first serious attempt on Warmech.
Throwing up wall, throwing up fog, I assume. Like, I'm assuming that there's a wall going. Yeah, there's the wall. So, 2 layers of fog 8 and a wall. That's going to do some work. And then throwing rocks.
Throwing rocks and holding this shirt. That makes everyone feel better.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if Ale's already, like, done work beating up the vampires. He's got, I think he's like level 21 or 22 now. And Luffy giving us the credits, because this is the first time we've actually crossed the bridge this sea.
So, Lord Fizzlebeef now on the right track, going to the cube block, going to be able to get the floater, and the Trash Island treasure hunting unit will be in the air in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah. They are working from a deficit at this point, though. Because all that exploration that caelb and Ale have done, they've got to do now.
Was that Holy 8 that I saw Warmack pull out?
It might have been, yeah. Might have been Holy 8.
I think Ail's running out of boulders.
I believe you are right. And he's also out of fists now. And he gets
the white mage
through
pulls
it.
it off.
So anyway, that white mage is now Ail's best party member.
Level
By a
27.
wide margin. Go ahead.
Right, well, we finally got one Warmack kill, so I'm satisfied.
Those war mechs are beefy and there are not a lot of tools available. Like, even with those 2 layers of Fog 8, it was still just punching through them. But Ail does now have a level 27 white mage, so...
You see, the good news is that now he can 2-man grind on those delicious vampires.
Yeah, if I had to judge, I'm guessing that he and Caelb have just had a very heart-to-heart conversation about, yeah, you know what? This is our best grind. Let's just do it. That began with, hey, I'm gonna go try to kill Warmech, and ended with, just keep killing vampires. I'm gonna be right there.
Killing vampires is a noble job.
It's just a shame that it's difficult to anticipate when you need to do it. Because then you could just name your party like Abe, Van, Hell, Sing.
I would like to contend that it's always a good plan to name your characters that, just in case you have a vampire grind.
You know, you make an excellent point. Alright, but Luffy and Fizzle now are able to start finding all of these wonderful toys that their opponents have already gotten to play with, so...
I'm interested to see how they play a little bit of catch-up. If they can route a little more efficiently, they might be able to make up the difference.
They might. I think, honestly, I think what's going to make up the difference is if they're willing to kind of take a more abbreviated approach to levels. Like, they both already hard committed to the class change, even with black belts in the party. So it makes me think they may be thinking of going with the angle of just hit hard and go fast. You know, the Lord Fizzlebeef way. So I feel like their catch-up is going to be not taking as much time to grind as Caelb and Ail are. But as we've seen from both Tia and Kraken, this seed's probably not going to let you get away without at least a moderate amount of grinding.
Yeah, that's true. I know that there was, I'll have to look at my notes, but I know there was a fast spell that was not Red Mage learnable. I think it was in level 5 Magic, and I think it was Red Wizard learnable, though.
Was it in black or white?
I think it was in black.
Okay, then yeah, so it'll be Red Wizard learnable. Red Wizard, I believe, can learn everything at level 5? Or is level 5 the first instance of a black magic spell Red Wizard can't learn?
I believe it's learnable by the Red Wizards. I think all 5s are. But if Team Caelb decides that they don't want to promote, then they're not going to have access to that. And
well, no. Caelb will have access to it unless it was in the 3rd slot. because Caelb has a Black Mage, and Black Mage can learn everything but the 3rd slot of level 5. So...
Is that egg a Black Mage?
Yeah. Yeah, so Caelb took a Black Mage and Ale took a Red Mage. That was like the only difference any of these parties have is Ale's the one who took a Red Mage and Caelb took a Black Mage. Possibly for situations like this where, you know, you don't necessarily want to promote, but there might be a spell in white magic that you want to double up on, or there might be a spell in black magic you just can't have. And Tiamat is putting up a fight on Caelb.
Looks like Caelb's doubling down on Fog 8, hoping just to weather this storm.
I mean, that's pretty much all he can do. He's probably already got his wall up, so there's not much more he can do for protecting against Tia's magic. So he just needs to go all in on offense. Or at least on weathering the punches to get through the... Ooh! Gets that halt spell off. That's gonna make a difference. And Tia goes down. Ooh, do I see kill 8? I missed that before.
Yeah, kill 8 is amazing.
Basically, kill being non-elemental power word kill. Meaning, even chaos can be affected by it.
Looks like Caelb wasting no time. Gonna try to light that 4th orb in order to see if Kraken, if he's leveled up enough to be able to take out the Kraken.
I mean, if nothing else, hopefully he'll be mindful that he now has Halt 8 at his disposal.
It looks like Ale finished up with his Black Belt solo grind. Looks like he got to about level 34.
Yeah. That is pretty solid, considering the wealth of magic we have at our disposal.
Oh no, he was up to level 30.
Okay, everyone is fasted. Everyone is walled. And one of the white mages is already dead. Halt 8 does not land, but Caelb is going to go ahead and give it another shot. Because, yeah. And he's going to go ahead and layer on some Fog 8s for further protection. There we go. Alright, Kraken is now paralyzed. So Caelb just has to kill him before Kraken comes out of this state.
That Kraken is going to be so angry when she gets unparalyzed.
And Kraken goes down. Alright, so that means Team Caelb has all 4 of their orbs lit, they have their key, they have their loot. At this point, all they need is to determine what else they need for this fight. And it looks like Caelb is gonna go straight on in.
I like this. It's almost like a scouting mission to see, maybe you get through it, maybe you don't, but it'll tell Ale how much he has to take these spires. In the Agamotto app.
Nah, that's exactly what this is. This is a time-honored tactic in co-op. If you're not 100% sure you're good to go, whichever player has committed less to grinding, they go try to see how deep they can go.
Ale taking a painful wipe to those spires. They still hit like a truck.
Yeah. Group encounters as a grind tile for a solo black belt are always chancy. Just because they get way more hits than you do. Which means they have a lot more chances to crit. And just a lot more chances to do damage in general. Meanwhile, these worms are kind of giving Caelb the business, but he gets past them. So in these two chests, we have magic and a silver weapon of some sort.
Is that a silver axe +2?
It looked like it probably was. Alright, so Caelb has made it through the tile, and he is on to making his way down to Earth floor to see how nasty the first Lich is.
At this point on the Trash Island treasure hunting unit, we have Lord Fizzlebeef taking on Warmech, trying to get his first kill. And we have Luffy taking on Carrie, hoping to light their second order.
Yeah.
Gurmadooses with Ice 4, gross.
And they did roll up on damage, it looks like. Because I think that was a Gurmadoose who just hit for like 11 hits and 2,000 damage.
That's terrible. I'm giggling, but that's terrible. I don't like to see that. It's like Gurmadooses, stop casting Ice 4 on me. You know, be careful what you wish for.
Alright, we got the Tims breaking out on the Earths, which are unrunnable, but also fairly fragile, it looks like.
And Luffy able to light the second orb for him and Lord Fizzlebeef. Lord Fizzlebeef finding out that Warmechs are still a little out of his grasp.
Okay, I may have misread the damage then. I don't think it was 2,000. It's really hard to read the numbers sometimes because they flash by too quick.
You know, I think it was 220 something, but that's still ridiculous.
Yeah, that's still brutal. In any case, we are about to find out if Lich 2 is nasty.
So what do we think Lich 2 is going to open up with?
I'm feeling Tim 7. It looks like we're never going to find out. That is a Alt 8 landing on Lich.
I think we have found our hero spell of the seed.
I mean, it's gonna be here's the thing. It still is limited by the opponent's magic defense. So, Lich 2 has weak magic defense. Carry 2 does not. Halt is probably not going to be very helpful on her. Kraken 2, I believe, has a magic defense that you're still going to be able to land stuff against. But then Tia and Chaos are both going to be relatively hardy against it. So it's definitely going to save these two, but
whatever. And as all of this is going on, Ale Market is just punching things to bejesus back and getting his black belt up to an ungodly level.
Yeah, it looks like level 44 if ETAP in chat is to be believed, which... Yeah, that seems fair. Ale also going ahead and picking up Halt 8 after... after it lands on Carry 2 anyway, so... which is good, because Caelb has lost his black belt.
Well, the black belt blocked Carry's punch with his face, allowing the Hulk to go off, so did his job.
Yeah. And the black mage is now sabering up for having to cut Carry 2 down to size.
It's time for Fog 8.
I think it was, what, 3 hits for 100?
Yeah, that one was 2 hits for 208. I mean, that's not terrible.
Yeah. I think that was
Carry's
400 damage on that one.
Luffy gets the key.
Yeah, it looks like the black mage is hitting for about 100 damage a hit, so combine that with the rocks, and yeah, there we go.
Well, Ailmarkin also entering Topher. We have Trash Island Treasure Hunting Unit have now all the information that they need, so they need to complete their grind, go and kill Tiamat, Kraken, and then they can catch up in Temple of Fiends. So there is a Kraken 2 that's exceptionally mean. We might be able to catch up right away.
Yeah, perhaps. Because the thing is Ale is going to be better equipped to deal with a nasty Kraken, and we'll have the intel on that nasty Kraken. Yay to see it. Caelb heals up all the way, but was a tile short of Kraken 2, so has to do it again real quick.
But, I mean, Caelb is using those Trank darts pretty well to paralyze all the fiends, so...
Alright, we got Halt 2, your Halt 8 coming out again. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and drop a wall. And... a fog. Alright. Halt does not land. Wall, of course, goes off. And Kraken just hit for 1300 HP.
Alright, no sweat. Let's get Halt 8 to hit this time.
Yeah, I think it did.
I don't want to jinx it, but Caelb is 3 for 3 on mains.
I mean, that non-elemental component is huge for this. And yeah, our tracker Groggy Dog pointing out, Caelb's black belt is hitting for 900 plus.
Is that a Fire 4 that Kraken 2 pulled out? And hits the Paralyze again.
Alright, so like I said, I think Tia and Chaos are probably where we're going to see the Halt 8 strat stop working. Also, I think I misspoke before. I said Ale, I meant Ale instead of Caelb.
Alright, let's see if you're right. See if, I don't even think we're not doing halts.
Yeah. No, we are. And it didn't land, yeah.
Only 621 damage. That's not terrible.
And Caelb is just going to go ahead and throw Halt 8s out there and see what he can get done. And it lands. Okay. Getting those Fog 8s up to make sure that these two survive this ordeal in order to actually get the rest of the party on their feet.
I would like to hear what's going on in Team caelb's chat, because Caelb's like, oh man, I just keep halting their attacks. And Markin's like, well, I punched them once in the run. These are my trait guns.
Hey. Oh no! Oh no! Tia had kill 8.
Ick.
And Caelb goes down. But that was a fairly deeply buried spell, so I think Ale should be able to clear out Tia with that black belt before Tia can get to kill 8. Also, Ale now knows that kill 8's there.
That was remarkably deeper than I thought Caelb was going to be able to make it.
It's apparently non-elemental paralysis. Kinda strong.
I enjoy that.
Case
There's a
in
lot
point.
of spells. There's a lot of spells that Spellcrafter kind of pulls forward that are not typically used in your average seeds. So this is a good learning experience for a lot of people.
Alright, Ale is through Tiamat with everyone intact. And he is going to try and halt Chaos. I don't think this is going to work.
Chaos only hitting for 434, both halts failing, but that black belt only had one hit for 128 damage. That is not good news. Chaos pouring on nuclear. Oh, halt state, it hits!
I think that might be GG for Chaos.
And he doesn't recover. He's going to sit there while rocks get thrown at him and fists get thrown at him.
And remember, if you're paralyzed, you don't get an evade roll.
Oh, the rock's coming out hitting 150-ish damage. That black belt's going to punch. 9 hits, 548 damage. Chaos, not long for this world, I'll tell you what.
Alright, now we've got Tim 7 coming out. Not doing too terribly much, but at this point, I don't think it matters.
What, Ale has Chaos paralyzed for the 4th turn now. I mean, yeah, that time 7's only doing 60 to 70 damage, but oh, Chaos is cured. The black belt is back to only 1 hit.
And one of the white mages is dead, but Chaos gets paralyzed again.
The devil's luck, and Ale finishes. Get those G's out of chat. Single G's.
To answer your question, Chat Gregory Puff, apparently, even with all of his M defense, he was no match for the might of Halt 8. Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, now Caelb knows everything can be halted. Everything. Meanwhile, while Caelb is grinding, let's figure out what Luffy and Lord Fizzlebeef have been up to.
They have been grinding on these waters, hoping to get their black belts up to a reasonable level.
I don't hate it. Like, they've got plenty of shots of ×7. And waters, I think, don't generally have much in the way of magic defense. I think they mostly rely on their resistances. Which, obviously, they don't have a time resistance, so... There are worse places to grind. Like, it's a shame that they don't know about the vampire tile, though, because I think that was the grind for this seed.
If I were them, I would know that they're probably a little bit behind. They pretty much last location for that floor, so they have to know at least 10-ish minutes behind. I wouldn't be surprised if they only go maybe to 32 and then just blitz for Temple of Beans.
Let's see here. I mean, the good news for them, at least, is that, like, they at least have one white mage well out of nuke territory, and possibly out of Rock 8 territory.
We're going to say Luffy v. Warmack.
I don't hate this play. We know that Warmack, like, he doesn't know that Warmack will go down at about this level. But, where's that spell?
X for 7.
Okay, I thought that was X for, but it was like... I couldn't quite make out the F and the R, but alright. So I don't hate this play either. You know that your strongest spell is Rock 8. Make sure that try to get that Warmech to no longer resist it.
It's a shame the fasted black belt still missed.
Yeah, I do not hate, like, Team caelb figured out fairly early on that the Warmechs were not worth the trouble, and I think that served them well. And by fairly early on, I mean, like, mid-grind.
While we were paying attention to Warmack, caelb is taking on Kraken 2. Kraken 2 punches his black belt in the face, and then caelb gets the halt on. So now we're fogging up, hoping to survive, savoring up that black mage, hoping that we can get a melee kill.
I mean, I don't know what weapon that black mage has, but it's doing work. Ooh, Kraken getting off a Vox. Which is a silence effect.
Down goes Warmack, and Luffy gets much needed marbles.
Yeah. Still, I don't think we're going to see Fizzle going for a Warmech kill, just based on what we've seen that Warmech is capable of. Yeah, the lack of a black belt definitely not doing caelb any favors right now, but having those layers of fog and having that wall spell up definitely helps, I think.
But I'm looking, we're running out of halt spells. And Kraken is starting to do Kraken things and goes down just in the nick of time.
Yeah. Yeah, caelb probably doesn't realize how much time he has, too. Like, they've still got to go light their last 2 orbs, they've still got to get to comfortable levels for Topher, and that's assuming that they don't, like, over-prepare and try to go in at a lower level than these two have. These two being Team caelb.
I did notice that both Luby and Lord Fizzlebeef have Temper 7, which I don't believe caelb has.
caelb, I think, did pick up Temper 7. Maybe. Looks like Tiamat deleted one of caelb's eggs. But that's fine. The one that's still up has more charges anyway. But not if it casts exit 8.
Those spell charges are getting slim.
As long as they can pile up defenses on the black belt and the black mage, it should be enough to skid across the finish line for caelb. Although I do agree, the lack of halts at this point is definitely suboptimal.
We're going with Invis 1 strats at this point.
You do what you gotta do, but we are through Tiamat, and caelb waiting until he hits this floor to pick up his white mage, and now is going to rearrange things to allow for the maximum amount of not dying.
I have a quick side note. So caelb bought Invis 1, and it's useful. Like, that's a heads-up play to get that spell, just in case you do anything.
Alright, Chaos starts off with Nuclear. caelb fires back with Halt 8. Ineffective. Ineffective. This one goes off, and a Saber for the Black Belt. So yeah, he's gonna use as many of these Halt spells as he can. And unfortunately, the character who had more than one cast of Halt 8 remaining just got wiped out by Chaos. So he is now going to commit both of his mages to Invis.
I don't know if this Chaos fight could be any more nerve-wracking.
Alright. He was going to heal with that Black Mage, but that Black Mage is no longer in a position to heal. But he does still have the heal for sure. And he gets cracked. Oh, you hate to see it.
Well, that is bad news for Team caelb, but the Trash Island Treasure Hunt unit getting a chance to get back in there.
Yeah. Now, if memory serves, the Irongol Double Dragon Championship, is that the first team to get both runners across the line, or the average finish time of the two runners?
I believe this was as soon as both runners cross the finish line, they can done, and the time will be the final picture. But Lord Fizzlebeef already taking his black belt up to 40, probably going to do 42. I did not see what Luffy's levels are. Let's see, 29?
It is definitely a situation. Because the other thing, keep in mind, caelb knows that Chaos can be halted, and halted relatively, easily, compared to a lot of other spells landing on Chaos. So, he may be looking at this from the perspective of, I don't have time to go to my grind spot, grind up, and come back. The time I spend doing that, that's time I can spend getting through this chaos fight and being done with it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's a rough decision because right now it has been 11 minutes since Ale Martin has finished. Caelb knows that this is possible. He just got a little unlucky there. So if he takes an extra 3-4 minutes to grind, does that put him behind? He doesn't have the information that Luffy or Philippi still have 2 orbs to play.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one I do.
I think it'd come down to what level my black belt's at. If it's still hovering below like the mid-30s, I think I go take a quick grind. Maybe not go all the way to the vampires, but you know, presumably I've been taking notes. I can go check that. Is there anything against having your partner fire the game back up and go hunt down a quick grind tile for you to run to and then come back?
There has to be a previous agreement on that. Normally it's not. And so unless there is a you can do that clause in the match, you can.
All right. And that's why I ask these questions.
So if I'm reading this right, it looks like Lord Fizzlebeef is going to hunt out the other 2 orbs while Luffy finishes up his grind. And then both of them are going to try to head into Temple of Fiends around the same time.
Alright. Caelb being a lot more conservative with his spell casting this time. Generally just swinging and throwing out a rock 8 or 2. Alright, Carrie's paralyzed again. He should be able to clear Carrie 2 out before she breaks out of this one. And he does.
Just without halt, the ridiculous amount of damage that's being thrown out.
Oh yeah, no, like, this seed is only beatable because of Halt 8. Which is a very good question, actually, to consider. Are Fizzle and Luffy going to realize the efficacy of Halt 8?
I don't even think Luffy has Halt 8.
Yeah, like, that's the thing, is they're going to have a very well-leveled party, but as we've seen, if you can't just make the enemies stop attacking, they can dismantle you in a few turns. Like, they're hitting hard enough and with enough just everything. So
well, let me tell you what, I have my little notes here, and I have Halt 8, starred and underlined, so the next time I do a spellcrafter, I'm picking up that spell.
If you manage to roll a Halt 8, but I mean, even if you see a lower level Halt, the fact it's non-elemental is showing its worth right now. Because that's what's making the difference right now, is that nothing is resisting it except these fiends' Im defense. Alright, so I think Caelb's in a much better position spellbook-wise this time. Yeah, no, he has plenty of charges of Halt 8 this time around.
So, Caelb paralyzing successfully on Tiamat 2, and Lord Fizzlebeef lighting the 3rd orb, going for Kraken.
Yeah. So, Caelb should be able to pull this dive out, I feel like. Because he's got more than enough shots of the spells he needs. He's got a healthy party. And he's got enough damage to capitalize on what he's got. Biggest thing, I think, going into this Chaos fight, if he can get through this Tia fight, is he's going to need to land that halt in the first couple of rounds, because otherwise that chaos is going to start killing party members, and Caelb needs them alive to land those halts. Oh, hey, it's the Wiz Vampires! Hi, guys! Long time no see!
Lord Fizzlebeat taking on Kraken, going to light the fourth orb at the same time. That Caelb is going to be taking on Chaos for round 2.
So, moving that ribbon around, putting that black belt in the least likely spot to take damage, making sure that that saber stick is where it needs to be. Oh, moving the ruse stick onto the black belt. Smart. Anyway, here's Chaos. Alright. Rusing up the black belt, getting the wall off. Fortunately, that white mage survives that initial hit, and immediately we get halt off on Chaos. Okay. So, there is nothing else that he needs to use those spell slots for except renewing the halt. And the rest of this is going to simply be him making the best use of his spells that he can.
At the same time, we have both Luffy and Lord Fizzlebeak entering Temple of Fiends, so if Caelb cannot beat Chaos, they will take the lead.
But that gets back to the question, do they realize just how effective Halt 8 is? Because Caelb and Ael figured it out because they had to. They did not have levels when they were dealing with Kraken and Tia. And so they needed that Halt 8 to get through the first iteration of Fiends. Alright, Chaos has broken out of his first paralysis. Caelb going ahead and trying to land another paralysis. First attempt, no good. Second attempt, no good. Nuclear goes off.
We only have one more cast of Halt.
Caelb opting to forego the halt to get everyone's health back up. But all those ruses and invises coming into play, that was one hit for 80 damage. Not ideal, but better than nothing. So Black Belt's going to attempt to heal up.
This is nerve-wracking as we see Luffy already making his way to carry.
Yeah, well, this is where the real Dark Souls begins. And yeah, Luffy at least doesn't have halt on all of his characters.
Black Belt punching 12 hits, 300, or was that 600 damage?
Something
hits,
like that.
70.
Alright, that ribbon coming into play. This is whole day and pray time for Caelb. I was not paying attention how much HP Chaos had.
Chaos probably has another 1200 HP.
Luffy through carry 2, about to take on
goes Caelb.
Kraken. Alright. So that renders the lead over to the other team. They have the firepower, but do they have the defenses? Kraken 2 goes down for Luffy. And there is a war mech. Luffy gets away from it, but that's gonna take a moment to heal up.
That is terrifying.
Caelb, meanwhile, opting to go grind on Nightmares and Evil Men. Yeah, they don't have Halt, but they do have that Temper 7 available in addition to Fast 7. Okay, they did have Temper 7 available in addition to Fast 7. Their Temper 7 caster, and Luffy's Temper 7 caster at least, just had an unfortunate accident involving running into Tiamat's fists.
Those locks putting in work.
Yeah. Alright, Tia goes down. So, one more fight with Chaos, and we'll see if these two can get through it. Yeah, so Fizzle on Kraken 2, Caelb grinding. Alright. And Luffy's just going for it. I didn't think I really saw him do any kind of redistribution. And that dodgy Chaos coming into play. Does get a Temper cast off before Chaos deletes the Black Mage. And we see the locks coming out again. Luffy going to make sure that Chaos will take the hit. Was that 20 hits for 1,600?
It was either 1,600 or 1,000. Either way, this Chaos is not long for this world.
Yeah. Nonetheless, well, he needed to not do that. Like, if this Chaos wants to survive, he just needs to punch that black belt in the face. Crack goes off, doesn't take anyone out. Luffy has has gone to just punching with the black belt while everyone else waits. Ah, he's gonna throw a rock.
And
he kills Chaos with the rock. Amazing. Meanwhile, Fizzle is through TITHU. Alright, let's see if Fizzle can repeat Luffy's luck.
Single G's in chat, people, and maybe we'll see a GG really soon.
Alright, Wall 8 going up. Saber 3 going off. Temper 7 going off. Nuclear going off, doesn't kill anyone. And Fast 7 going off. Yeah, I don't think... I don't think this is going to take very long. Yeah, locks going off. "20 hits for 1,500. Yeah. And he's also going to throw rocks at Chaos as he keeps punching him down. Healing with the Black Mage, punching with the Black Belt, throwing a rock with the White Mage. This might be another Rock 8 kill. Not quite. Black Mage gets deleted. Chaos is immediately thereafter.
Oh my goodness, what a come from behind victory. Let's get GG's in chat. chat.
Yeah, get those GGs in chat. And I guess we'll see if the Trash Island treasure hunting unit is going to get in here. As I believe they need to be marked the winners.
If I wasn't watching this match, I would not have believed what unfolded during it.
I mean, just the spells that they generated alone. So, meanwhile, caelb has finished his grind, knows that victory has gone to his opponents, and is moonwalking his way to the back. But yeah, I haven't had too many opportunities to play around with Spellcrafter, but apparently there is some good stuff in there for sure. Alright. We should be able to get them in here momentarily. Yep, I see a Fizzle, I see a Luffy. Alright guys, congratulations!
Yeah, GBs, thank you.
Yeah, so that was very much a come-from-behind victory on y'all's part. Ale actually finished about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
We see that.
Yeah.
We had a couple oopsie doodles, and I had a feeling I didn't think we were 20 minutes behind, but I had a feeling we were behind.
Yeah, so what got y'all through it is caelb kept throwing himself against Temple of Fiends instead of stepping back to grind his black belt. Mostly because he was able to get to Chaos without levels. Turns out Halt 8, really powerful.
Interesting.
I think we bypassed that, because at that point it's like, okay, I think that was at the same time we found Halt 8 was around the time we found Fasted Temper and all that good stuff. Wall 8 is just like, oh, we could just play this like a normal-ish seed now.
Yeah, but if you're watching, as you can see, Halt 8 lands on carry 2.
Wow.
Yep.
Non-elemental paralysis is apparently really strong at high levels.
Yeah, so although it's evading, Tiamat and Chaos, they don't get an evade roll, so you don't need block.
So the thing is Ale was grinding his black belt while caelb was finishing out their exploration and stuff. So Ale had the levels and knowledge about how effective Halt 8 is. And so he was able to just kind of charge in there, paralyze the enemies, and then beat them to death while they couldn't move.
Wow.
As you would expect, it was a highly effective strategy. I don't even think they didn't even pick up Temper 7 at all. So, but yeah, the thing is though, is you guys were like, all right, and stop me if I'm wrong with this, but I'm guessing your thinking was, all right, we have the spells we need to run this like a normal seed. If they didn't make the mistakes we made, they're almost certainly in Temple of Fiends. The only way we're winning this is if we can just power overwhelming the end of this seed.
Pretty much, although not in so many words. It was a case of, all right, we've been spinning tires for the better part of an hour now. Nothing is sticking against even just regular old enemies. How are we climbing over these 300% clamped, 400% health bosses? Well, we got these black belts. Level 42 is a thing, so let's just do that.
Hey, it worked.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a very interesting kind of combination of things that kind of played out. But yeah, caelb finally went and ground after losing to Chaos a second time. This is his fourth Topher dive. His first dive was actually while Ale was grinding, kind of an information run, and I think he got all the way to Tier 2 before he went down.
What did they grind on, out of curiosity?
Vampires and whiz vampires in the Hall of Giants.
Oh,
Never found it. Yeah.
With these stats bold.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys went for the water, correct?
Yes, that was also bold, but we didn't kind of commit to that until we were already like level 20-ish, so we could survive the ambushes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think what happened is like they checked there earlier and found out that, like whiz vampires really only had heat. And so it was one of those things where once they had times 7, it was kind of just a matter of, all right, we just need to get 2 casts off and we're going to wipe the floor with this group. Maybe throw a rock at one of them. Incidentally, Luffy, we all loved watching you kill Chaos by throwing a rock at him.
Pretty good, wasn't it? The black belt just kept punching. I'm like, all right, there's 1,700, there's 1,300, there's another 1,700. What is going on? And then just threw a rock and it landed. I'm like, okay, cool.
But yeah, so... Yeah, no, let's talk a little bit about Rock 8.
Yeah. So ordinarily, I am used to I roll into a magic shop and I see like my AoE spells and I'm happy, or I see my AoE insta-death spells and I'm happy. Sometimes I have to make do with what I've got, but it's rare to be handed an Earth Elemental single target howitzer and just be like, okay, what do I do with this?
You kill all the things, apparently.
Not imps though. They fought back, and then it's like, all right, well, I can't take this in the water.
Yeah.
What do I do? How do I get levels? Where's the town?
I mean, you probably could have taken it in the water because, even resisted, that thing was pumping out enough damage to where you probably still would have killed with it.
It's true.
Yeah. I think my first cast of it went off for like 550 damage, and this was like, how much? I was like well over 500. Like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, the joys of explaining to people who came in late how Spellcrafter works and why throwing a rock is the most effective thing.
While this is going on, Caleb is taking on Chaos for the 3rd time now.
Looks like he got a halt off. Because that was 8 hits from the black belt, and I think that only happens when Chaos is paralyzed.
Fun fact, due to the effects of Lock 6, if you lock 6 twice, their evade becomes 0.
Really?
Yep.
There was quick math going on when we were doing our dive. It was kind of good.
There was quick math when I made it. When I found out that shop information works with Spellcrafter way too late, and I went and I finally found Lock 6, it's like, all right, let's read the description. Wait, it dumps evasion by 130? I only have to cast this twice?
Okay.
Right, here's what we're doing.
I completely forgot about the fact you can also use shop information with spells.
Yeah, I forgot that until most of the way in, and then I heard... Because, I had the FAQ up with all the, prefixes, and I'm trying to, read and try and figure out what's going on, and then I'm just like, wait a minute. Shop information has been a thing for a little bit. Hey, Luffy, you're in a shop. Hit select. See what happens.
Oh, Caleb almost losing his black mage, but keeping him alive with 9 HP after a nuclear.
Those extra levels he had are paying off.
But yeah, I mean, another nuclear. Great.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of other stuff that popped up over the course of this seed. So yeah, how about that floater location?
Yeah, I think we were more befuddled by the canoe location when we forgot that Sarah was a person we could talk to after we rescued her.
Yeah.
Caelb does get through, though.
GG's, Caelb. Nice.
That was a terrifying finale to that.
Yeah, I think we were going, and I think Fizzle was in Ordeals, and we're like, okay, this has to be our progression, and then Ordeals was
They
had an
iron
X-Cow.
nunchucks. Yeah.
And we're like, wait a minute, what?
Oh,
So we had a moment to think there, like, wait, what happened? And then I'm like, oh, killed Garth. I forgot Sarah.
Yeah, they didn't, for the record.
Yeah.
They also split up a lot earlier than you two did.
no.
Mm-hmm.
And speak of the devils, and they shall appear. Caelb, Ale, GG's.
Hey, DG. Thanks, Whoop.
Yeah, so you guys jumped out to a fairly early lead because, as Fizzle and Luffy were just letting us know, they forgot Sarah existed.
Yeah, it's
Whoops.
important.
Yeah.
She's pretty
Would've
important NPC.
Would have helped.
Yeah. They also did not discover the glories of Halt 8.
Oh yeah, that was clutch. Like I felt like we could have been done this like a million years ago if I had gotten through on my first dive, but I ran out of Halt 8.
I remember hearing the description of Halt 8, and I'm just like, I'm confused by this. I think I'm just gonna leave it over here.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna revel in the joys of Tim 7, and
Yeah.
just
I didn't-
watch Tim 7.
I didn't know the beauty of Halt 8 until Ale was in the middle of his grind, and I was like, I'm gonna go try to kill Tiamat, and then Halt 8 hit right away, and I was like, I'm gonna try this on Kraken, and it worked, and it was like, so we got the last 2 orbs that way. I was like, I'm gonna skip a grind and just go into Topher and see if Halt 8 will carry me, and it got me to Tiamat too,
Mhm.
and yeah, it sucked.
Nah, I mean, it's one of those things. Y'all all made tremendously good use of the spell books you were given this seed. Yeah, I mean that's kind of a major thing. Rock 8 was amazing to witness in action.
We were throwing rocks at everything.
We actually
that
killed
was a
Caelb
lot
with
of
a
fun.
rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so yeah, everyone except Ale, I believe, took Black Mage, 2 White Mages, and a
red.
Black Belt.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So Ale,
Ale and I had the same party. The black belt, red, double white.
Yeah, Luffy and I had the same party, the black belt, double white, black.
Yeah.
okay, I thought you had a Black Belt, or a Black Mage, Caelb.
No, it's a red mage because she
Okay.
would swing in the ice +4 sword.
Okay, that explains a lot right there. We were under the impression that it was a Black Mage the entire party, the
Oh
entire
no,
time.
it's a red egg. Come on, man.
Okay, have you seen how blurry the commentators' view
Yeah,
is?
that's fair. But red and blue are pretty. Yeah, you're right. Red and blue are pretty similar colors.
Also, to help with the confusion, I had my black mage swinging an Xcal +5 for a while there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so yeah, I guess Ale, somebody could have swung that X-Cal.
Right?
But yeah, so okay. Well, a lot of the things I said were invalidated, but yeah. So why a red mage versus your other choices?
The melee strength on it, the 20% extra hit and 40 strength. I was like, if we get a good sword for that red mage early, it's gonna carry the any grind to get the black belt up. It's basically a super fighter at that point.
Yeah.
And the ice +4 sword and Canary, I was like, well, this is the way through. This is what I'm gonna do with this red mage. It just sucked that they had black mage vitality because she never had any HP.
Okay, that explains why I thought it was a black mage.
Yeah.
We-
a lot
we-
of
we
moving
didn't-
pieces. There's a lot of moving pieces, Will.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we didn't get a chance to see the malices versus the bonuses.
Fair.
Y'all had already made your parties by the time we got the restream.
Fair. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, we need to like figure out a way to like, I guess in the future when we're playing with, because this is going to be like a feature for a spring tournament, I guess to have like the gate or like one of the comms probably download the seed and just open it, or the tracker or something to get
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
math bonuses.
Yeah, that might not be a bad plan to just go ahead and make that a part of the tracking notes process. But hey,
Yeah.
that's the beauty of Irongol, is it gives us a chance to try things out and figure out what things do and don't work.
Yeah, these flags were fun, Luffy. That's right. These were Luffy designed, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't too much of a hint of Lord Fizzlebeef in these flags, so I figured they were.
You can tell by the way Spellcrafter is on, because I opened these up when I first saw them. It's just like Spellcrafter, huh? Mixed spellbooks, huh?
I was really hoping that the caster weapons would tri-state on, and we'd get all that fun stuff.
Just
I was hoping
alphabet
so,
soup
too.
sorts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lucky that the party draft gave us black belt, because it's not often you get to see black belt in a co-op. But I've talked all over Ale, so I'm gonna let Ale talk. Because
That's all fine.
Wout asked you a question, and I just wouldn't shut up. So
It's all good. I didn't shut up the entire time, as Deadpools can attest.
well, that's Wout comms. Wout comms are usually solo comms, so you're used to filling that airtime.
I was just trying not to choke on my laughter, which I did several.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was just a ranking match, right?
Yeah.
So-
Actually, I can pull up the rankings and see how this shakes things up.
Yeah, that might not be because it's one of those things, there was so much happening, we didn't get too much of a chance to talk about what Irongol is for the folks who aren't familiar.
Yeah, and the Double Dragon. So the Double Dragon is the co-op branch of Irongol, and it's been around for this is a second full month, and the champs have changed hands 4 times, so pretty good.
Pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you like to see a lot of movement in the belt. It lets you know anyone can win.
Mhm.
This is the Trash Island Treasure Unit's 4th win.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this will put you guys into 3rd place. So, Team D&D, they got to get off their horse, or they're sitting between you and Fade to Brack for the number 1 contender spot now. So,
Yeah. All right. So, do we have anything else going on today, I guess is the question. And then we can move on to everyone's final thoughts on this whole chaotic mess.
I know that we have a couple of DAB tournament matches going on later tonight. Pull those up quick.
All right.
I can do that after we get some final thoughts. If we want to go to the winners, we'll start with Luffy, go Lord Fizzlebeef, round it out with Ale and Caleb.
Oh, this was fun. Thank you guys for humoring me to try out some random flags I've never checked in boxes before and felt like having some fun with. It was a good time. Caleb and Nail, you guys are great runners, so it was a fun race. And to my partner, thank you for being there for me. I appreciate it.
Fizzle.
Shout outs to SpeedGaming for hosting us. Shout outs to our comms, Woat and Deadpulse, for doing the heavy lifting on this broadcast. Shout outs to Groggy Dog, the unspoken hero, for doing tracking, especially tracking this. Oh my god. And sometimes you just gotta rock and roll.
Rockin' Tim.
Oh, okay. Before we move on to Ale and Caleb, I do need to ask this. So, was there a blend of horror and glee when you saw Warmick throw out the Tim 7?
Straight horror.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, but was there not that part of it that was just wait a moment, that means that spell's available to me?
No, because I was trying to throw it at him, and then I saw it returning, and it's just no, stop, please, no.
Did y'all find the Masa?
No.
No.
Okay, so yeah, because we didn't get the ice cave incentive. We didn't see the slab turn in, and we didn't see what was in Mirage. So
Yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah, and we didn't see Power Bonk either. But I did find a saber stick, which was cool.
Yep, we got that, but we didn't get a Mazda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if that Masa was positive, it would have been a blender in that Red Mage's hands.
Sounds like someone needs to go open the seat back up and find the Mazda.
No, I'm done with this seed.
Well, I didn't mean you. I was thinking like maybe Ale or something. You know, someone who had a good time with the seed.
I was having a great time with this seed until I wiped out a Topher 3 times. Yeah.
But yeah, so speaking of Ale, your thoughts?
I mean, I thought the flags were a lot of fun. I've been a little bit busy and preoccupied over the past month and a half, so I haven't really run a lot of races. So it was something fresh, I think, to come back into and run and have some fun with. So it was a lot of fun. I was really chuckling at the whole idea of just throwing rocks at everything, the entire seed. Like I just kept cackling randomly, and Caleb's like, "What is wrong with you?"
In all fairness, we were cackling about the rock thing.
Pretty good.
Because y'all were using that spell was a workhorse the entire seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we'd find a fiend, and it's like, "What are you gonna? Oh, I found crack, and I'm gonna throw rocks at her." It was awesome.
All right, Caleb, why don't you round us out?
This was a lot of fun. Thank you, Luffy, for putting the flags together and putting the time into doing that. Fizzle, always a pleasure racing against you, buddy. I think our career series is probably pretty close to even at this point.
Probably, yeah.
Probably have to ratchet up this rivalry as we get closer to spring tournament. Maybe
so you need to dang woo him.
Yeah, maybe we'll land in the same pod or something and go nuts. Thank you, Ale. Always a pleasure doing co-op with you, buddy. It's always fun. Very low stress environment. Running seeds with you. And I guess we'll probably have to get back on this Double Dragon thing. I mean, it's been a while. So I know the Nuclear Fallout folks, the Ragnarok and Papa, are still looking for a challenge. So maybe if we're feeling froggy, we'll throw a challenge out to somebody. Yeah, we're some fun. Thank you, Woat and Deadpool, for doing the comms, and Groggy. Yeah, Groggy had me cracking up with the race room. He's like, "Wait a minute, y'all said this was straightforward."
No, I said it was straightforward, and it was fairly straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, at the 10,000 foot view of, we only got to do orbs, and we got to just find a key, and we're good.
Look, this is an Irongol match.
Sure.
Even if it's the Double Dragon division, it's still an Irongol match. Quite frankly, if less than half the boxes are checked on the site, that's straightforward for Irongol.
Yeah, Irongol doesn't have to be a mess of flag options and
y'all just choose that life.
Actually, speaking of how nice and simple Irongol can be, I'm going to be racing Gregglypuff for the Irongol belt on Friday coming up. I don't know if we're going to get a restream for that, and he and I are just going to be doing straight up dab flags, what they're doing for the double anti-bingo tournament. So I'm going to get my rematch against them.
Y'all still have 5 days to figure out how to make it a trash fire. I believe in you.
Greg and I are pretty much like anti-trash fire if we can avoid it. So, yeah.
Okay, fine.
I keep trying to get Greg to run in the Saturday hardcore race so he can get that hardcore belt, and the year the Gregglypuff can continue, and he can hold all 3 Irongol belts at once. So the dude's been on fire lately.
Belts.
Yeah, he's been killing it lately. So
all right. Well,
thank you.
All right, Deadpulse, why don't you go ahead and take us out of here?
All right, let's give a shout out to SpeedGaming. Thank you for hosting us on here. Thank you to Woat and Groggy Dog for all of the behind the scenes action, and our runners. This was honestly, and I mean this, like an awesome race to watch. There were a lot of ups and downs. I felt like I was on an emotional roller coaster, and I needed to either cry in a corner or hug someone. So thank you very much for the entertainment. As Danny says in chat, tonight we have a dab match, double anti-bingo, between Zenobian and Chanigan at 7 p.m. Eastern. I don't believe it's going to be restreamed, but if you're on our Discord, we're going to have the link there, and if you're not, you should definitely join it. And thank you, Ale, for the pun. This seed rocked. And that should be my close. So, Danny, when you cut this, you just get rid of everything after that.
I mean, I'm about to cut it right here. So thank y'all for tuning in, and we shall see you all on the flip side. Take care, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube.